Of course. Thank you all for being here. Chelsea, take it.
Okay. My favorite. Of course, Miss Juanita. How could we not wait for you?
I don't know. I appreciate it.
Well, they asked me to do this, and I was just like, yeah, I got a big mouth. Okay, let's start there. I have a big mouth, and I can talk about real estate, life experiences, motherhood. Sit me down, let's talk for hours about it. But in real life, it's like, how do you wake up every single day and do this?
No, for real.
Without. But in real life, like I joke about it, but I'm not even really a drinker. But it's a real steadfast position because if you do not manage your time well, if you do not manage your mental health and you as an actual person, well, you can burn out. Time and time and time again. So like the first piece of this is mindset. Like, what are you doing in the morning when you wake up first thing? Grab your phone, let me check and see who liked my videos. And baby, why are you looking at someone else's life at 6 a.m?
Right.
At this point, you're more vested in their life than your own. So it's like when you wake up in the morning, you wake up, you speak to your higher power, whatever that is. You sit with yourself. Speak to yourself. I say, okay, well, how am I feeling today? Whew, another day in real estate. You wake up and I have to be motivated, and it's like no one's going to call you. It's no office to report to. It's no one saying, oh, well, did you talk to all your listing clients or all your buyer clients today? When's the last time you checked in? How often do you check in? No one's making you do that. So it's like you really have to stay on top of that. So mindset matters. Like my routine. When I wake up in the morning, I sit with myself, sit with God, talk to God. I mean, I talk to God because that's my best friend. I'm saying,
okay, period.
Like, it's nothing that I can do without you. And I don't want to. Honestly, it's like, however you want my business to go, however you want my life to go, I want you to take the wheel. So I'm up with God in the morning because my son likes to sleep in. I don't know a 4-year-old that likes to sleep in, but I'm having to usually wake him up. And he's like, 5 more minutes. But I talk to God and I just set the tone for the day. I don't want any outside noise. I don't even like to talk on the phone before 9 o'clock. Really before 11 unless it's the client. If you're a client, call me anytime. Or like an agent, something related to business. But I wake up with God, get my son ready for school, get him to school, then I'm right at the gym. So till about probably 10 to 10:30 every single day, I'm at the gym. I honestly work out, I would say 6 days a week, but it's really 7 most times.
It's crazy.
It's really 7 most times, and honestly, me saying 6 days is just me holding myself accountable because I said I would start taking a rest day. But I love it. It's like, not even the fact that I love it, I love what it does for my mind. I love how I can be summer ready all year round. That's a little vague. But I'm saying I'm a mother of a 4-year-old. Okay, I like a small wigs. But in real life, a little deeper into my story. My mother and my grandmother passed away at 55. Both of them. Like my grandma I think it was like 7 or 8. She passed away, and then in 2021, my mother was actually 54 and passed away about a month before our birthdays. I say ours because her birthday was March 21st, and mine is the 24th. So that was during, like, right after COVID. I actually removed her off of life support February 14th. 2021, which also, because I say God has a funny way of doing things. That was the day my parents got married, a month before I was born in 88. But that was also the day that my son was 7 months old. I was removing my mother off of life support that day. And so from February 14th to February 19th, it was just kind of like the waiting game. And they called me at 6:15 in the morning on that Friday the 19th and said, your mother had departed, and, to get her affairs in order. Now, I'm her only child. A little deeper into my life, back in when I was 21, so this was like 2000 and between the years of like 2008, 2012, I was in school full time. 18 credit hours a week. I would work 40 hours a week at T-Mobile in Short Pump, and my mother and my uncle lived in my 1-bedroom apartment, and I paid all the bills by myself. So, okay, I think back to 21 and it's like I'm here taking care of her. So at this point, I was already angry. I'm upset with my circumstances, but in my defense, I will say my pain turned to purpose. Whereas I'm able to even sit up here and talk about it today without, being moved emotionally to tears just because I lived it at that moment. And I relate it back to real estate because in that moment, it's like, I don't know what in the heck I'm doing. I'm exhausted. I'm working 40 hours a week. I mean, yeah, I worked Monday through Saturday and I was off on, I think Sundays and Mondays or something like that. But I would do schoolwork in between being on the phones, and truly paying for all the bills every single time. And it's like, I didn't allow my circumstance to hinder me at that moment, even though I didn't know, okay, well, what am I going to do with this communications degree? Okay, I got a big mouth. I don't want to work at T-Mobile my whole life. I mean, this is at 21, and if you could think back, like 21, that was probably around 2010-ish. So I'm making like $20 an hour already, which is great for 2010. But in real life, I didn't know at that time. So then you fast forward to 2013 and it's like, okay, I just got out of college and we're in a recession and I don't have a job and I'm looking aimlessly, trying to find work. And then I find Sherwin-Williams and I'm like, well, I don't know anything about selling paint, but they got a good assistant manager training program, so I can go back, get whatever training I need. I didn't know this. I needed this training for what I would be doing today. So I'm like, it's January of 2013, I started to interview. When I say they kept missing my interview, I mean, it was just so many things. And I was like, I want the job. If they could just call me back and keep the interview time, I can get the job. So I didn't finally get hired until April because, the lady, they hired someone, they fired someone during that time, during my interview process. And I'm like, bro, I just want to work. That's it. And then it was hard because they're like, well, you have to have experience in your field. And I'm like, I have experience. I've been working since 7th grade. Even with T-Mobile, I'm in undergrad, but I'm still, I was always super ambitious. So I'm at the top of picking my schedule and all those types of things, like my metrics. I need all that to be intact. So fast forward, I get the job and I'm so excited. $39,000 a year, y'all, in 2013. Okay? You can't tell me anything about it. I was ecstatic. I told my grandmother, I said, Gigi, I found the company I want to retire at. So started off as an assistant manager. Now I was promoted quick. Not because, two things. One, I was a token black girl. Okay, I said it. And that's just what it was. Along with the fact I was also smart and a vicious dog when it came to sales and negotiations and when it came to anything business. I was hungry, not even hungry for it, but it was like, I'm so thankful to have this job making $39,000 a year. Oh my gosh. So I started working. I got trained from August of 2013, and then I was placed in the store in September. So I'm under a store manager. Now with Sherwin-Williams, they don't really put their hand in the business. The district managers, the only time you really see your district manager is around the times of inventory or if something's wrong. Other than that, you're having to run that business yourself. So whereas I didn't, because I was an assistant manager, but I did the heavy lifting. My store manager, that's who ran the business. So I had to learn those things. I was promoted a year and a half later to store management. Not before I interviewed, though. I interviewed, and it was 2 people. And it was a man, and it was me, and this was a man that had been with the company for a while, and I get it. But I'm at this time, it was my second interview for a store. I was ready to be promoted. One, because my store manager was lazy, and we had to do all the work, and he would leave early, and I'm as an assistant manager, you basically are the one that's keeping everything together, and they get the credit for it. I'm oh, that's not really for me. So during that time, I was interviewing, and I didn't get it. I'm okay, cool. So I interviewed, and then they gave it to this man. I'm okay. But a month later, my district manager tapped me on the shoulder, and he was I need you to apply for the store you just applied for. And I was just okay. So when you get tapped, you already know what that means.